Welcome to Vichaar Break the Buzz. Hi everyone, today we have Sanya Podar with us and we are feeling privileged to have her today for the Vichaar Break the Buzz on the occasion of International Women's Day. Sanya Podar, as you all know, is the founder of Daffodil Lane Books. She is an avid reader and content producer. After discovering a need for better, more diverse children's books in India, she set out to reimagine the publishing industry. In 2018, Sanya created Daffodil Lane, a name inspired by Little Daffodil, the nickname she was lovingly called by her father. She started this venture after a week of the pandemic as think tank for children, a springboard for ideas. Hi, Sanya, how are you? I hope you're doing
Hi,
fine.
thank you. Thanks for having
So,
me.
Sanya, I would like you to add some lines to your introduction.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Okay, so let's start with the Q&A.
Sure.
Yeah, so my first question would be, as you are an ideal example of Indian brave woman entrepreneur who took that risk and started the Daffodil Book Lane right after a week of the pandemic,
Sorry,
how
it's
did you,
Daffodil Lane Books. Sorry to
yeah,
correct. It's Daffodil.
Daffodil Lane Book right after a week of the pandemic, how did you emerge with the idea of establishing your own publishing house? I would like you to know your opinion on that. How did the Daffodil Lane Book started?
I was working at in content creation before this, and while I had my job, I sort of had this idea for children's books. I noticed there was a gap in the market when it came to, good quality storytelling. So I had been working on the ideas 2 years before the pandemic, and we were slated to launch a week after. And we had only two options: either we pushed it to a later date
Yeah.
or continued, with an online launch. And we went with the latter because we thought that the world was ready for our product. And it turns out it really was, because parents wanted, respite from screen time, and our books make for great entertainment, so worked out.
Yeah, and I guess everyone can see your efforts in the company. Yeah. So my next question is like, in today's world, most people prefer to read ebooks and are well consumed with digital technology. Still, you have immense faith in the paper books. How can we persuade people to read more books rather than digital one? I would like you to justify your how reading books are better than any digital medium.
As a new entrant in the industry, my understanding is that parents today are aware about the adverse effects of the excessive use of digital platforms. In the pandemic and throughout, the lockdown, the consumption of digital media among children had increased due to staying indoors and learning online and playing online. And a trend that I noticed that parents were looking for ways to get their children to engage with traditional content like books, and board games and books and stuff. And as a publisher, it's always important for us to sort of stay relevant. And I wanted us to make a difference in that aspect. So we try to tackle the sustainability, or you can say the digital options, by sourcing materials responsibly for most of our books. And we try to keep the format really quick and engaging, and not unlike its digital alternatives. So and I also feel like, you can call me old fashioned, but I feel like there's nothing more in the world that has more cognitive benefits and values than opening a book and reading it to your child. And it shouldn't, and it can't be swapped for, pushing buttons and viewing things on screens.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like personally, also, I really love reading books. So let's follow. Let's take the next question. It takes a lot of courage to start your own company, and within 1 year, DLB got a lot of recognition. What challenges have you faced as a woman in the publishing industry?
I think, I hope this is just the start. I hope we continue to receive more love. But I think, as we have, any business comes with so many challenges, and we've been one of the key focus points of DLB is that we are deliberate in taking on, only a few projects a year. So this helps us meet, the quality and requirements of our readers. But having said that, being small is sometimes mistaken for being young or new, and sometimes the quality that we bring to the table can get overlooked because, we're a new entrant, or we're a young company. But having said that, I feel like the quality and the content speaks for itself. Also, I find that, young female entrepreneurs are sort of looked at as hobbyists and not careerists, and that can be demotivating at times. But I mean, I think embracing challenges is what makes us limitless. So, you have to learn to ignore all the noise around it sometimes.
And I guess I've seen that there's a stigma around like being a young woman entrepreneur, especially in India. So I guess you have bring a little change in it. So let's move to next question. DLB is dedicatedly working towards spreading the magic of storytelling through books with animal protagonist at the same time without being preachy. What plans do you have in your mind to encourage women that are already working in your company, or who would you like to join your venture in the future?
Join a venture? I mean, I'm not really considering joining hands with any other company, if that's what you meant. And for to encourage the women that are already in the workplace, we have flexible hours because we recognize that women don so many hats and take on so many roles. So we have a very flexible working structure. We motivate, each other through goal setting and through sort of we always believe that it's a learning curve, and we have a little library at office, and we encourage female writers and female illustrators, but we're an all girls team. So I think we're doing everything that we can as a small firm, but without being preachy is what you said, right? Could you repeat the question again?
At this like spreading the magic of storytelling through books with animal protagonist at the same time without being preachy.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, you have your answer. We encourage female writers to write in, but not necessarily only female writers, but yeah, we encourage everyone to write, and you can send us your work at the email address, follow us, and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so on account of your first-hand experience, what suggestions would you like to give young women who are stepping into the entrepreneurship world?
Go for it. Follow your dreams. If that's something that you think you want to do, then give it a chance. But make sure you have a plan, and don't quit your day job until you have a plan.
Okay. So as a woman, don't you think it's our responsibility to provide support for women and their career growth? I would like to know your thoughts on this.
I don't think we necessarily. I mean, yes, of course, that's that it's great that great things happen when women support each other. But I also feel that it's essential for men and women both to support women in business, because a lot of the advice that I've received in the beginning, at the start of my career, has been from my husband. But I think some of the greatest advice that I've received has been from peers who are successful women in business. So I think it's important for men and women to support women in business.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Yeah, last but not the least, it doesn't matter in our patriarchal society how much women sacrifice themselves, but it's high time to break all biasness to gain their self-worth. As a publisher, how can you bring new opportunities for women in the publishing, or say like in the industry?
To play in the family and outside. So we understand that, and we recognize that, and we sort of push for flexible hours. We're open to a more convenient leave structure, and yeah, especially the pandemic has brought on a work from home environment, which has worked out for a lot of us. So
Okay, so I have a personal question to you. Like, apart from your career-oriented field, like if someone has to describe Sanya in few lines, that according to you, what will be your personality traits like that you reflect? So, would you like to describe yourself in few lines? Anything different from career-oriented? Like, apart from being a young woman entrepreneur, 3 lines about your personality trait that you would like to share to the audience.
it's a good question. I think driven, independent thought, and someone who continues to learn and who loves to learn. I don't believe learning stops in the classroom or it stops at, at graduation. I believe life is full of lessons if you're willing to look and learn.
Yes, I totally agree. It was really nice talking to you, Sanya. I hope our audience resonates with all the things that you have shared with. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.